Hello, hello. This is Tina. Welcome to my channel. And this is my first video about the Spring 2026 Anna Griffin Create event. I thought I would come on and just quickly show you what I completed and what I have left to do. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want to see something else. But this was the box design for this year, and we received these dies. So border dies, grace, courage, and love were the themes, and these are the different nesting dies that we got. All right, so this is the last die set. This is nesting dies. There's a little truncated corner on that one, some little flags, corner things. This is the tag, the little hole cut in it already, which is nice. And then some extra little embellishments. And this doesn't have an info sheet on it like the other two sets. So I don't know if they're going to sell this separately or if it was only for the Create event. Not sure, but I could see using this a lot. And these were the die sets for the event. And now I'll walk you through all of the projects I completed and show you the ones I'm still working on. So the first day was grace, and this is what I have left. So quite a bit. And the first page, this is page number 1. So I don't know if I'll keep these pictures. This is of my daughter when she was little, but it gave me a good idea of how the design was going to go. So we fussy cut some of the flowers from the background paper and then nested the picture and frame inside there. And then they fussy cut the borders, but I actually was really busy this weekend, so I did do a shortcut on that. It's not quite as pretty, but it's still, you get the gist. But I used one of the die cut and emboss folders for that. And I didn't put as many flowers because I wanted to make sure these were the pictures I was going to stick with. But they had like a circle of flowers, which was really pretty. But then again, you can see the background paper more without. So your choice. And then I just tack these down because I want to take them up when I'm ready to write on them, or add clear sticker paper or something like that. This is layout 2, which I did not finish. This is supposed to be folded and put flowers inside for a little tussy-mussy. And there's the journaling card and the title. So we did go to a lot of trouble to do a lattice, and then it got all covered up with the pictures and, you know, all the flowers and the title and everything else. You could barely see it. So I kind of made this my own by showing more of that and the border. And so I think I'm going to do a second page, sort of a mirror image, and I'll put the tussy-mussy there. So basically I'm going to take her design and sort of spread it out across 2 pages, and that way you can just see more of this pretty paper and the lattice design and everything. So I think that's what Create is all about. You learn the techniques and then you make it your own. And I did that again with the card. I thought it was really pretty here with the border, the sticker border, and all of that. And I could add more flowers, I guess. But if you keep adding, then you don't see all the pretty papers and border designs that we put on there. So, all right. So this is class 1 card 2. And as you can see, I wasn't able to get to that one. So I had done all the prep, did the embossing, cutting, and all of that. And then I just wasn't able to do that class. I had a lot of family and school events this weekend, and I wanted to save time and energy for the craft room at night. So then this is the start of class 2, and the first thing we did was this layout, which is really pretty with the border, and then you cut the paper really thin here. And then we did like a little fringe to do a second page next to it, maybe with pictures this way. So I was still deciding on that, but I loved the design. It definitely was one of the more simple designs to understand and complete. So I do love that one. Let's see, what do I have here? Obviously, I did not do this page either. Looks like it's ready to go. So I've got some frames and a title, some flowers, ribbons. Oh, that's right. I remember now. Okay, so this was the background. And then you add more borders. And then I think you do the frames here and the title in the middle. And once you get done with this, you hardly see the pink paper, which is one of my favorites. So this is why I didn't put it together yet, because I was looking at the design more and trying to decide if I could use a different background paper and save this one for something different. I'm sorry. Did I say this is class 2 layout number 2, and it's all prepped and ready to go? I'm just second guessing the background paper, but this definitely will be beautiful when it's completed. Okay, and this is class 2, cards 1 and 2, and obviously I was not able to do those either. And moving on, this says class 3, layout number 1. So see, you don't always get all of the projects done, but if you're in the chat and you're talking to people, that's really fun. I did a lot of that. And then I saved, my energy for some of the more complicated ones where I wanted to learn the techniques and do those things. I spent some time looking at photos, deciding what to put on pages, so you don't see any of that here. And then I also saved some energy for the nighttime craft room, because this is the only events that you're able to go and meet new people and talk to them live. So we're on to class 3, number 2. I did get the prepping done. These are all glued and ready to be put down. I've got the borders ready. I was able to create all of these and add all of the tapes and the background paper. So I did love this design, but I also was considering changing a few things. You create a bunch of loops, which makes it very dimensional. And I was considering different ways of changing it and making that design my own. So I'm still thinking about that one. But, I still was at the class and learning the techniques and what she was teaching. And that, for me, is the important part. Finishing it, it's kind of fun to drag it out. And then that way it's not all over right away. You get to drag it out and enjoy it for longer. So no pressure. So this is card number 1 for class 3. All prepped and ready to go. I think by then I was tired and I was eating, and I was using my heating pad on my back and getting ready for the craft room. So this is also all prepped and ready to go for class 3, card 2. So, all of this is day 1. So you can see that's a lot. And I don't know if I can show you the side view. See how thick? See all those papers? And then plus this giant packet of all the things that I have left over, plus the envelopes and the inserts and all of those things for day 1, the grace theme. And here is day 2. This is the courage day, and this one was a little bit more masculine, and this is my bag of all the things I have left for that. So embellishments, envelopes, Sorry, it's kind of hard to show. More paper, some frames I have cut already, ready to go. Okay, so excuse my sticky notes. This is how I labeled it. All right, so this says class number 4, layout number 1, and this was day 2. So she had full frames here, and I cut the insert out just to kind of keep some of the papers, and then, you know, I don't tack it down too much so that I can put a photo under there if I want, or I could use the die to cut the perfect shape there. But this was a fun little pocket behind a border, and then we made little tags. You can do secret journaling, or you can do more pictures, and that went up there. I loved this little design that it created. I thought it was cool. I made it my own, and I kind of squeezed these frames in here. And then I was thinking I could do a second page next to it if I want to do a 2-page spread and just carry that one line over. So I thought that would look cool. This one is very dimensional. This is class 4, page 2, and it looks like I need some hot glue because this is supposed to be very dimensional like that. And she had her pages glued together, but she said you could make it a book if you wanted to, so I did. So I did a little extra score line there, and then this became more pages for me to add pictures or secret journaling. What was the other thing I did? Oh yeah, and then she had another background paper here. It did look really pretty, but it made it very many layers. And in the middle here, there's 3 puffy squares on top of each other, so it is very dimensional in some areas. Flowiness to it, which I think looks really cool. So I don't know how flattened that will get in the scrapbook. I'm going to attach the clear, I think they're Avery little tabs here that have holes, and that's how you put it into your scrapbook instead of putting a clear pocket on here. But you could use a clear pocket and then just cut out enough for the pages to come through and flap over. So I did do one less layer of paper on the background, and that way I was able to use all of the layers that they had for the book. This is the card 1 and card 2, and they are all prepped and ready to go. So I didn't have time to do the cards because at that point I had to leave to go do an event for my daughter at the school, which is another great thing about this event. It's all recorded so I can watch it later, and she has really detailed instructions written out. So then this is class 5, layout number 1, and we learned how to do all of these flags, and it's on puffy squares. So oops, that one's coming undone, so I might need a little bit of hot glue on this one to keep it together. And she did have more flags kind of coming over like this, which is really cool looking. But I stopped just until I decide what pictures are here. So if there's a lot of white space, like she said, or you're covering up a tree or something that's not critical for the picture, then the flags are fine, you know, and they continued coming down. But if it is in the way of the picture, then I'll just leave the extra flags off. So again, I've got most of it done, and I will add the pictures and then decide if I want to finish it with more flags or if I should leave it the way it is. What also is cool with this design is you could just turn it, so you could do it on the side or the top. So I loved that one, and it was fun to do. This is class 5 layout 2, and whoops, I got tired. And I do have all of these cut and taped, prepped, ready to go. So I think this one will come together very quickly, but I did not finish it. And then this is class 5 card 1. So class 5 card 1, all prepped, ready to go. This one looks more simple, but there is a folding technique that goes with it. So I waited on that one too. Class 5 card 2. So if you're behind, I hope this makes you feel better. I'm a very seasoned scrapbooker, crafter, and I have learned there's no need to rush. You have time. Enjoy the event while you're able to look through the chat and, you know, go to the craft room and just enjoy the event. And, you know, we have tons of time to finish. So we were doing a folding technique here that I didn't finish. This is 6 layout 1, but this definitely, actually I think it was this was the background. And these borders are really pretty, and you can see through that middle. We were doing something like that with the folding technique, but this paper is very thick. You can see I did it and then undid it because it just was a little bit too thick and sitting too high up for me. So I could maybe do a different kind of version where it's not so much paper, it's not as thick. I do love their design, but I think it also would look really pretty with text weight paper, which is thinner. So also this might be a fun little like secret pocket, you know, all kinds of things. But I didn't finish that one because I'm still deciding if I want to do the original design that they had or if I want to alter it. But I did learn the technique and it is fun and I really enjoyed it. So this is class 6 layout 2. And again, it was a folding technique with this paper, which I will do just for fun because it really looked pretty. I went ahead and did a simpler design. So this was taking some of what we prepped, which was this, and then creating my own design with it. So in the prep, we cut some of the border off and I saved the squares, so don't throw your scraps away. And then I put them on the corners here. I just thought it was a fun little detail. And then I have room for either a smaller picture and journaling and then a bigger picture or 2 pictures there. I love these trees. I want to get more of these trees. And I think she had something else here. Oh, maybe the bicycle, but I wanted to use the binoculars and the aeon. And so I think I'm making this page about my husband's birthday, which is in the summer. So, and then don't forget, you can scrapbook on the back. You know, on the more dimensional things, it might be harder to do, but on these, I think it works. Okay, and then again, class 6 card 1 and card 2 had more of the folding design. So I went ahead and prepped for it, and then I put it in a bag, and I just make sure that I have the supplies set aside for when I am ready to create that. And also that way, whatever is left in my packet for courage, then I know I can use that for my own designs and filling in my album. Okay, and then the last subject is love. And here is my leftovers and scraps. I've got some full papers left. And I love the papers in this one. I can also show you I have some of the foil left, but not a ton. So I definitely need to buy more foil. I'm pretty sure I have a lot of gold foil in this craft room here. I just have to find it. So, all right. So for love, we started with this one. So this is class 7, layout number 1. And she taught us how to miter, add the borders, switch out the papers, add your embellishments, the puffy tape, and then we die cut this paper into the picture frame. And then I decided I wanted more pictures. So I took some scraps I had from other things and I made this little fold out, and I'm going to put pictures cut from the tag die and put those there. And this tiny little square on the corner is from the leftover border that we had cut off, and it wasn't really usable. It was just, I think, like an inch that we cut off. So I just cut these little diamonds out of there and turned them into squares for the corner of my little mini album. Okay, so this is class 7, page 2, which is more simple. We learned weaving paper through the border. And you were supposed to do 3, but after I got the first one in and I tried the second one, it was kind of ripping the paper. And I actually decided it looks pretty being able to see through it. So I just did the one through the middle, which is different than what she had. So I thought that was a fun design. And this one is class 7, layout number 3. So just a couple things I changed here. I made my pocket here, is what we learned. I made my pocket bigger so it would fit a full, well, not this one because that one's cut out of, but it can fit a full 5x7 here. So if I wanted bigger pictures or more journaling, and then we learned tags, but you can add pictures to the back or journaling. I thought it was fun to use the title that she had in the gold and then the frame around it, so that was pretty. Room for 2 pictures here, and then they showed us how to do this gusseted pocket and this cute little mini album. It seemed really bulky at first because when we put it together, it was like this. And that's how I had put it in, and then I realized, oh, I can flatten it. So it's like a staggered one, and then it's skinnier, and then I put it in. But this has tags in it. And they're pretty thin, so that's nice because if you add pictures, it makes it a lot thicker. But there's definitely room in those pockets for that. And I could see using this little mini album in a whole bunch of things. But it is a little bit bulky for scrapbook albums, so I could do, you know, little tags like that and just have a tiny little slit to pull them out. Or you could use it as a, you know, a place to just have a picture that's stationary that you don't pull out. So, you know, again, make it your own, but you do have to think about how you're getting it into your album. So I don't know if this one will go in a sleeve or if I need to attach the little holes that go on it as well, because it's got 2 pockets and a mini album here, and it's a little bit more bulky. So this may be one that I don't put in a sleeve. All right, so here are the cards. This one is card number 1. So same idea with the border stickers and the one down the middle. I love this one. It was so pretty and it was really quick and not too many layers, just 2 layers there. And then this one we did weaving with the ribbon, which is gorgeous. And I have another secret to this one. Boop. It's just a card front. So I was looking for my plain cards because I didn't want to waste all of the new pretty cards that she gave us in the event packet. So I just created a card panel, and then I'm going to add it to one of my plain cards later. So now this is the same idea of the gusseted pocket, but it's a card, and it has the same mini album, but it's only got 2 tags, so it's smaller to put into the card, and 1 tag. You could probably fit 2 in here, depending on whether you're adding just a saying or a poem or pictures. Pictures make it thicker. And then I have, oh, I'm sorry, did I say this is card number 3 for class 7? And then I didn't add any of the inserts yet either. So I decide later when I know who I'm giving it to what inserts I want to put in there, but I will, obviously I'll keep the envelopes and the inserts together because I think the theme, they all kind of go. But I love these cards. I'm really happy about that. And then we move on to class 8. I'll go ahead and show you the cards since I have them here. This one I didn't get done, but I will do it. It's prepped and ready to go. This one is class 8, card number 2, which I thought was really pretty, but look how cute that is. I love that. So we tied those and glued them on, and then just added all of the fun little embellishments. And then this one I kind of made my own as well because it was a very dimensional card, and I love this card design. This is such pretty paper. So I didn't do the dimensional part of it, and I just added sort of the other embellishments that they had though. So that was card number 3 for class 8. So this is a long video. You can see how much we got done. Crazy. I wasn't sure I was going to do this, and then I decided, oh, why not? And I went ahead. Oh, that's right. I made a mistake. Can you tell I accidentally cut the paper wrong and then just seamed it back together? Whoops. See, washi tape. There you go. Hopefully you can't tell. I figure if it's on a wall and there's pictures in there, no one's going to know. But if they do, oh well. It happens. Okay, so this is very dimensional. We did sort of a quilling heart, and then it's really pretty. But I don't think this is a put it in the scrapbook kind of thing. I think it's a go on the wall kind of thing. But it's so pretty, and I love it. But that's not the biggest one. This one I think is even bigger. This is class 8, page number 2. And holy moly, look at all those loops. And some of them are border stickers with the backing still on, so pretty thick. So I don't know, I'm afraid to push on it too much. If it went into the scrapbook, it probably would get all flattened and sort of ruin the effect of all the pretty loops. And it's so pretty. So maybe these need to go next to each other on a wall in a shadow box maybe. So maybe this could be a birthday party or Mother's Day is coming up. That would be fun. And then I could put it on the wall and enjoy it. So if you are putting that in a scrapbook, I'd love to hear how you're doing it. And then this one is class 8, scrapbook number 3, and it is also dimensional. But this definitely looks like a birthday one. It says, hooray, it's your day. I guess that could be Mother's Day too. But it is gorgeous, and it's not perfect. Like, I feel like the loops maybe should be pulled out more on this side and maybe go in more on that side. So her pictures were next to each other, I think, and I sort of tilted them, and I loved the technique. So even if I do end up putting it in a scrapbook and letting it get smushed, that's okay. So anyway, it was really fun to learn, and I'm always wondering how they do their dimensionals that she shows. And oh, that's right, I used a different background paper. Their paper was the really pretty light blue, and I couldn't find it. So I did find the blue paper later in my packet over there, but I had already glued it on the green, so we're going to stick with that. So now I just have to find pictures that are wall worthy. So I would say all three of these probably need to find a place on the wall. But you know what's funny is now this one doesn't seem so thick. I'm like, well, maybe this one could go in the scrapbook because it's not as thick as those other ones. All right, and now we are at class 9, which was a mini book. And looks like I have some embellishments and some frames left that I can add to it, but there's this pretty little album. I'll untie it. I changed a few things on the front and a couple of the papers, but for the most part I did it as she designed. So it flips out like that, and then boop again. I can't even get it in my screen. And then this one flips down and that one flips up, and it's so pretty, and all of these pink frames match, and then there's a gold one in the middle, and then these are all the purple with the pink. I used different papers here just for fun, but you know, this part's going to be covered probably, so you won't see it too much, just on the around the frame. So you can do journaling, you can do pictures, you can do greetings and accents. So I have to decorate it. Oh, you could put another frame here too. Not this color. I think it would be better in matching in the pink and the purple. Or maybe this is where you could put a little pocket. That would be cute, and have like tags and secret messages there. And then when you open it, you have all of the frames. So I'm going to pick the pictures first and then decorate with the accents. And she had a gold frame like that on the back as well, and some more embellishments, but so I'm still deciding what to do on the back there. And then it looks really pretty when you tie the bow, and then it'll go on the bookshelf like that. So love it, so fun. And then this was the last thing. I did the auto ship of the 2 events, so I got the swag bag. Did you do the auto ship? I definitely have used some of the foil, the gold. There's gold and green foil. And then this is like the shimmer paper in sort of a silver, I think, and pink. And then these are vellum, blue and purples that match. And then we got puffy tapes, bows, and we also got tear tape. And then these are the papers. So these are text weights. So these are great for keeping the bulk down in your album. Pretty green. So these will be good. That'll be good with Jack. These will be really pretty as a ruffle. Oh, and look at red, white, and blue. 4th of July. What's that one? So, you know, honestly, I wish there were more pinks. This is so pretty. I love this. I kind of wish there were more pinks in here, but the green, so the pink and the green. So that's what I have left of the swag bag. So I used all of the tear tape that came in the swag bag already and had to buy more. So that's how much tape we were using. So that was a very long video, but thanks for joining me. And that's what I got done and what I didn't get done that I will be working on over the next month or so and trying to complete. I also, sneak peek, am doing my own designs on some of the backs of the papers. Really excited, had so much fun, and if you're not signed up for the next event, I recommend it. Thanks for joining me, and I am curious, what was your favorite project? All right, let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Until then, happy crafting.